A look into NASA's near-light-speed engine? When it comes to space, there's a problem with our human drive to go all the places and see all the things. A big problem. Let's face it, the planet Earth will not be habitable always. As such, the only way for mankind to evolve is to search for life on other planets and universes. It's easier said than done until we actually realize how huge our solar system is, and how many other universes there are, and most importantly, how far do we travel to get there. Even traveling at the maximum speed the universe allows, it would take us years to reach our nearest neighboring star. Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Before we proceed with the video, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for exciting content. In today's video we will discuss and look into NASA's near-light-speed engine. Humanity has dreamed of traveling the astronomical distances since several centuries. Once we understood the boundaries of our solar system, and that there are several universes just like ours, the urge to travel, seek and explore space is of the utmost importance. The fact that the closest star is more than 4 light-years away. The fastest known spacecraft can only travel 6 miles per second, and even at that speed reaching the nearest star will take 4,000 years. In order to propel a spacecraft we are currently using rockets, which have their own limitations with thrust and fuel. Remember, there are no gas stations in space. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, has devised a special spacecraft that does not require propellants to reach for the stars. Not just this, he also claims that the machine may be able to move almost at the speed of light. In a nutshell, when used on a spacecraft, this engine will help blast into space without using a propellant by leveraging the mass-altering phenomena that occur at near light speed. This engine doesn't produce any exhaust either. The futuristic spacecraft can reportedly be propelled into space using in-space engines that do not need fuel either. Usually, rockets operate on Newton's third law of reaction to every action. They are blasted into space using a propellant in one direction, so that it can travel in the other. However, NASA's fuel engine would not follow this basic principle of physics. However, the real purpose of the so-called helical engine would be to travel to distant stars far quicker than any existing tech, according to NASA. This in-space engine could be used for long-term satellite station keeping without refueling. It could also propel spacecraft across interstellar distances, reaching close to the speed of light. NASA's crazy concept. Traveling at these speeds, light would struggle to keep up with you, warping your vision in bizarre ways. Everything behind you would appear black, and time would appear to stop altogether, with clocks slowing down to a crawl and planets seemingly ceasing to spin. NASA's mad idea is revolutionary because it does away with rocket fuel altogether. Today's rockets, like those built by NASA and SpaceX, would need tons of propellants like liquid hydrogen to carry people to Mars and beyond. The problem is, the more fuel you stick on the craft, the heavier it is. Modern propellant tanks are far too bulky to take on interstellar flights. The helical engine gets around this using high-tech particle accelerators like those found in Europe's Large Hadron Collider. Tiny particles are fired at high speed using electromagnets, recycled back around the engine, and fired again. Using a loophole in the laws of physics, the engine could theoretically reach speeds of around 297 million meters per second. In its simplest terms, the engine works by taking advantage of how mass changes at the speed of light. To understand this concept, imagine a ring inside a box, attached to each end by a spring. When the ring is sprung in one direction, the box recoils in the other, as is described by Newton's laws of motion. Every action must have an equal and opposite reaction. This mass changing isn't prohibited by physics. Einstein's theory of special relativity says that objects gain mass as they are driven towards the speed of light, an effect that must be accounted for in particle accelerators. In fact, a simplistic implementation of NASA's concept would be to replace the ring with a circular particle accelerator, in which ions are swiftly accelerated to relativistic speed during one stroke, and decelerated during the other. NASA estimates that it would make so much sense to do away with the box and rod and use a particle accelerator for the lateral as well as the circular movement, in which case, the accelerator would need to be shaped like a helix. Why thrust is key? Thrust is produced when chemical, nuclear and electric propulsion accelerate and expel propellants. Deep space travel is often a trade-off between thrust and large propellant storage tanks that eventually limit performance. This engine's design is capable of producing a thrust up to 99% the speed of light without breaking Einstein's theory of relativity. However, the plan does breach Newton's law of motion, violating the laws of physics. That's not the only thing holding the helical engine back. NASA estimates that it would have to be 198 meters long and 12 meters wide to work. The gizmo would also only operate effectively in the frictionless environment of deep space. It may sound like a harebrained scheme, but engine concepts that do away with rocket fuel have been proposed before. They include the EM drive, a machine that could theoretically generate rocket thrust using rays of light. The idea was later proved impossible. For every action, there is a reaction. That is the principle on which all space rockets operate, blasting propellant in one direction to travel in the other. But NASA believes it could take us to the stars without any propellant at all. Frictionless space. The engine would also need to be big, some 200 meters long and 12 meters in diameter, and powerful, requiring 165 megawatts of power to generate just 1 Newton of thrust, which is about the same force you use to type on a keyboard. For that reason, the engine would only be able to reach meaningful speeds in the frictionless environment of space. According to NASA, the engine itself would be able to get to 99% the speed of light if you had enough time and power. For now, this is an interesting concept in its initial phases. Whether it pans out or not is left to be seen, but I am sure glad we have scientists who think outside the box. Do you think we will see light speed travel in the future? Let us know your observations and thoughts in the comments section below. If this video was insightful for you, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell button for more updates. Thank you for watching.